So I'm going to run through this motion here and explain what's been going on. You guys can read it. It should pretty much cover anything for anybody who doesn't want to watch or wants to come back later. So the lawsuit's been filed. Sununu was served on December 4th, and then on the 20th, they asked for an extension of time. They actually filed fake documents to try to get a 60-day extension of time. These documents are to be filed by the plaintiff. It's a motion to waive service of summons form, and we did not file those. That would be myself and Kathleen. And for those who are unaware, myself and Kathleen are the only ones on this lawsuit. The other New Hampshire 9 who were arrested have an attorney. We opted to not go with the attorney because we don't want to. Okay. So another thing I'd like to point out is that this magistrate who granted them their extension is the same magistrate judge from when I went to trial for the filming in the lobby of the federal court when my phone was stolen, my $1,300 phone, which to this day, I still have no receipt, no documentation or anything about what happened to my phone, where it is. I'm not being charged with anything, none of that. So I will be trying to get this magistrate recused, and this is an appeal of her granting of their motion to the actual district court judge. So now come the plaintiffs, Frank Staples and Kathleen Bussiere, pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 72A, and respectfully object to the magistrate judge's endorsed order granting the defendant's motion for extension of time, document 8, and mooting plaintiff's motion for default judgment, document 11. Plaintiffs assert that the magistrate judge's rulings are clearly erroneous and contrary to law, and request that this honorable court vacate the orders and deny the defendant's motion for extension. Number 1, procedural impropriety in mooting plaintiff's motion for default judgment. The magistrate judge granted the defendant's motion for extension, doc 8, and in doing so rendered the plaintiff's motion for default judgment, doc 11, moot, without addressing the plaintiff's objection to the defendant's motion, doc 10. This sequence of rulings was improper because failure to address the objection. Plaintiff's timely objection raised substantive arguments against granting the defendant's motion, including their bad faith tactics and the prejudice caused by the delay. The magistrate judge failed to evaluate or address these arguments before granting the extension. Case support. Failure to evaluate properly raised objections undermines the fairness of the process and violates the obligation of de novo review. United States v. Rivera, 10th Circuit. Improperly mooting plaintiff's motion for default. By granting the extension without ruling on the objection, the magistrate judge effectively nullified plaintiff's motion for default judgment without providing any reasoning. This creates the appearance of bias and deprives plaintiffs of a fair opportunity to litigate the issues. Case support. The district judge may make an independent determination of any disputed issue properly brought before the court through objections to the magistrate judge's recommendation. Number 2, bad faith tactics and material misrepresentation. The defendants engaged in procedural tactics that demonstrate bad faith and caused substantial harm to the plaintiffs and the judicial process. Filing false waiver forms. The defendants filed false waiver of service forms, docs 6 and 7, falsely asserting that plaintiffs requested waivers of service under Rule 4D. This was a material misrepresentation as plaintiffs served all defendants in hand and never initiated waivers. Admitting to improper conduct, the defendants later admitted to filing incorrect forms, but failed to acknowledge or remedy the harm caused by this misrepresentation, which delayed the proceedings and created procedural confusion. Last-minute filing of extension request. The defendants filed their motion for an extension, Doc 8, just 4 days before their response deadline of December 24th, 2024. This request appears calculated to delay the proceedings and force the court to act without full consideration of the plaintiff's objection. Case support. It is the obligation of the court to ensure objections are meaningfully considered to preserve the integrity of the judicial process, which we know there is none. Okay, we'll see how this judge goes, but defendants are limited to 21 days from December 27th, 2024. As of December 27th, 2024, all defendants were served in hand, rendering their request for an extension based on Rule 4D moot. Never mind that it's the plaintiffs who initiate a waiver of service form. Okay, the defendants cannot initiate that. So under Rule 12A1AI, defendants must respond within 21 days of service, making the new response deadline January 17th, 2025. So they're already passed. They're already in default. Misuse of waiver rules. Rule 4D allows for 60 days to respond only when a waiver is properly initiated by the plaintiffs. Here, no such waivers were requested or executed. The defendants cannot retroactively invoke Rule 4D to justify their delay. Limit on extensions. The defendant's service date establishes the response deadline. Extending this period further unfairly prejudices plaintiffs and rewards improper tactics. Case support. The filing of timely objections to a magistrate judge's report triggers the district court's duty to review those objections de novo. Number 4, plaintiff's right to control the litigation strategy. Okay, this is important here. Plaintiffs intentionally structured service to stagger response deadlines. This approach was a strategic decision designed to streamline responses and focus litigation efforts. By overriding this strategy, the court has 1, disrupted the plaintiff's case management, and 2, shown unwarranted favoritism toward the defendants, undermining judicial neutrality. 5, harm caused by irregularities. The magistrate judge's failure to address the harm caused by defendants' misrepresentation demonstrates procedural irregularities and raises questions about judicial impartiality. This pattern of favoring defendants undermines public confidence in the fairness of the proceedings. Number 6, request for relief. The plaintiffs respectfully request this honorable court vacate the magistrate judge's endorsed order granting defendant's motion for extension, Doc 8. 2, deny the defendant's motion for extension. 3, reinstate plaintiff's motion for default judgment, Doc 11, for adjudication on the merits. And 4, limit all defendants' response deadlines to 21 days from December 27th pursuant to Rule 12A1AI. 5, impose sanctions against defendants for misrepresenting procedural filings. And 6, grant such other further relief as this court deems just and proper. So obviously we're already past that deadline that they should have. I don't know how this is gonna go down, but it is what it is. This is just part of the process, right? They try to make it painful, and of course they're favoring the defendants in the case when it's us, the people, prosecuting the case, right? So this is par for the course, and it is what it is. It will be dealt with. This is going to take a while. Trial's going to take a while before it happens. I don't know how many of you understand this process, but it's going to be a long, drawn-out process unless the court starts to rule in our favor and sanction the defendants for all the shenanigans that they're trying to pull. So we'll see what's up with that. What's going on, Brandon, Truman, David, Bruce? Thanks for joining, everybody. Share this around. I'll try to give some more updates as I can, as they happen. But I'm very busy. I'm moving. I'm in the middle of moving and all this other stuff. So I don't have time to do these updates at every motion. You know what I mean? It's a little ridiculous. But pay attention. Keep staying on the channel. Share this stuff. Talk about it. And if you're not following my governor page on Facebook, go follow my governor page, because I'm running again in 2026. This was just a dry run. Obviously, I didn't think I was going to win. It was to get my foot in the door and all that. So if you guys got any questions, shoot them in the chat. Let's see. Messages. All messages. Let's see all the messages. Joe Paquette, they were blocking your message, bro. Lawfare sucks. Courts have no integrity. Fraud factory. That's right. They are a fraud factory. And they're all in bed together. It's just this great big corruption machine where they're all lying and covering for each other. And, people do it too. All you party people out there, the Democrats and the Republicans and the Libertarians, I mean, I don't know. Let's not go down that road. But I don't subscribe to groupthink. So everybody who thinks I was on the Trump train, I never went to a goddamn Trump flag wave, okay? And I never had any of his Trump stuff. Like, I'm not that guy. Look at the pinned video in my YouTube. Wings of the same vulture. Wings of the same vulture. Trump, Biden, whatever puppet it may be. Okay? So, yeah. A vote is a vow, not to God. And people, it's crazy because I see these Christians literally calling him Jesus. And he's like some godsend. And it's idol worship, number one. I know your religion better than you do, you fake fucking Christians out there. And don't get mad if you're not a fake Christian. If you're not a fake Christian, you have nothing to be upset about. But if you are a fake Christian, you're going to have these things turning in your head and causing the cognitive dissonance, right? Trump didn't pardon, or he didn't release Ross Ulbricht, which he promised on day one. I don't care about the J6 pawns. I told everybody, don't go to that. It's a false flag. Okay. So, how did I know about that? How did I know about the myocarditis and the pericarditis from the vaccine? And all these politicians ain't know about it. Trump ain't know about it. Am I that smart? Or are they fucking playing games? They're playing games. They're playing you. They're playing me. They're playing everybody. So you guys need to wake the fuck up and understand that the government is not here to help you or protect you. You have to do it yourself. Fuck around and find out. Signing off. Take it easy, everybody.